I haven't done a which is the best version of Windows video, as far as I know in this channel's history, so I'm doing one now. The reason why I want to do this video is because after a while of using Windows 11, I think it's the best version of Windows released by Microsoft so far, and I want to explain my reasons for why it's the best version of Windows. Why it's the best version, at least for me. With that being said, let's begin. Reason number 1. The File Explorer. The File Explorer in its current form has been present in Windows since about Windows 95 or Windows NT4, and since then it has evolved to become the File Explorer we use today. However, one thing remained constant until it was changed in Windows 11, the fact that there were no tabs. In Windows 10 and older versions, if you wanted to see more than one location or drive or something similar, you had to open 2 File Explorers like you see here. Now you can just create a new tab inside of the File Explorer Windows 10 instead of having to open a new window. Making things much more convenient to use. For example, just press a plus button here and there, boom, a new tab. And then you can see something. This is a great improvement, and this is one reason why I think Windows 11 is better than all the other versions of Windows that came before it. There. Reason number 2, the user interface. Windows 11 has seen significant and much needed user interface improvements over Windows 10 and earlier versions of Windows. This did come at some sacrifice though, with the ability to move the taskbar to the left, right, or top of the screen being removed, but the improvements outweigh the drawbacks. For example, the start button has been moved much closer to the center of the screen of the taskbar, making it closer and thus making access to it quicker. Though, if you prefer to put the start button back on the left side of the taskbar, you still have the option to do that, and I will showcase that right now. Opening settings, taskbar behavior, alignment, and left. And that's how you change it back to what it used to be in Windows 10 and before. But I'll move it back to center because it's my preference. Another improvement is the removal of live tiles. Live tiles are nothing more than a legacy of Windows 8 and 8.1's failed start screen tablet-oriented user interface, and with those removed, we are now back to a simpler system where we just have application icons and the application name before these icons, as you can see here. There's also the All Apps button, allowing you to search for every app if you needed to and if you wanted to. The default theme was also improved with the boring Windows 11 white title bar and nothing else, being replaced with an aesthetically appealing bluish mica title bar, and the same for the taskbar. And I'll showcase one example of that. Yeah, it's slightly better than Windows 10. It's no arrow glass that was present in Windows 7, which is still the most beautiful theme that ever existed in Windows, but it's still better than Windows 10, which is a white title bar and nothing else. Reason number 3, the inclusion of Windows Terminal by default. The inclusion of Terminal in Windows 11 by default has improved the command line experience in Windows 11, with the improvements being the fact that you have tabs, meaning you don't have to open another command prompt window. And also you now have a drop-down menu where you can select between a command prompt Windows PowerShell and Azure Cloud Shell when you open a new tab, and I think if you have a Windows subsystem for Linux, you will have that option as well, which is nice. I'll now showcase the example of what I said. I just need to remove that PowerShell window. Well, let's just do a random dir. There we go. You can, I think there's also settings to customize Windows Terminal to whichever preference you want when it comes to theme as well, which is also nice. But yeah, you can have these multiple tabs without having to open another command prompt window, another instance, and yeah, you still have all these options, which is convenient and way better than Windows 10. And I say this as a long-time Windows 10 user from 2015 to early 2023. But anyways, overall Windows Terminal in my view is an improved version of the legacy command prompt, and I'm glad it's now being included by default on Windows. Reason number 4. Easier access to AI and general AI integration into the OS. With Windows 11 and even recent updates to Windows 10 22H2, there's now a Copilot button in the taskbar at the right side. Now, some have said that this is bad and that there should be no AI integration or bloat in Windows and any operating system for that matter. My opinion is probably going to be unpopular, but it's true. Those saying that AI integration is bad are wrong in my opinion. Here is why. If you're using AI or are using Copilot, you would want easier and quicker access to it without having to type in bing.com/chat. Oh, I opened the wrong one. Yeah, but I was going to demonstrate. Instead of having to type bing.com/chat, shut up. Okay. The browser was a bit annoying, so I had to say that. But yeah, the point is, instead of having to type bing.com/chat in a web browser, you could just access Copilot and in general AI and all the AI features from the Copilot button in the taskbar. And being able to use Copilot in the OS is also beneficial, as you could tell the AI to start certain programs, and I'll demonstrate this as well. Okay, and it will now issue a response. I'll ignore the extra drivel from the AI, but yeah, you can open apps from Copilot, from the Copilot inside Windows, and which you cannot do from the Copilot inside of a web browser. But yeah, I'll now shut this down. Being able to use Copilot in the OS is also beneficial, as you could tell AI to start certain programs. Yes, already done that. And also, if you have questions, the AI can answer those questions for you, making it a better user experience in my view. Now granted, the initial plans for implementing Recall by Microsoft were horrible, and it did border on invading user privacy because the opt-out wasn't made clear. But now this is being amended and Recall is being improved in such a way where you could look back towards what you were doing without it invading your privacy. Also, for those concerned about Recall and privacy, don't worry. Unless you're using the newest ARM64 Snapdragon X Series Copilot Plus PCs, you will never see Recall in Windows, so you don't have to worry about it. Reason number 5. Improvements to Paint and Notepad. With Windows 11, Microsoft Paint and Notepad have been improved, with Paint finally getting layers so that you can do different things on different layers, and I'll showcase this. Layer. If it's lagging, it's because the VM is... It's because recording while running a VM is slow, so it may lag. But yeah, I'll demonstrate. Right here you have the layer button, and now you can just make another layer and do something else. Okay, this might be slow. And you can also hide layers and show layers. But yeah, the point is, you can finally do different things on different layers the same way you can do on Paint.net. And with Notepad getting it, and with Notepad getting tabs, which means you no longer have to open two separate windows to do more than one things in Notepad, which in my opinion is a welcome improvement, and I'll demonstrate that as well. Sorry if I accidentally repeated myself several times. This virtual machine is still very slow. But yeah, you could just open yet another tab and do all this other stuff. And in my opinion, the improvements to Paint and Notepad are welcome, and now because of the fact that Microsoft changed Paint and Notepad, now Paint and Notepad are much better now in Windows 11 than they were in Windows 10 and before. Because in Windows 10, you had to open two separate Notepad windows, and you couldn't just create a new tab and keep everything in one window, which was inconvenient. So yeah, that's my opinion on the changes with Paint and Notepad. Don't save. Now I do unfortunately have to point out a glaring drawback present in most editions of Windows 11, and which will not get better with 24H2 except Enterprise Edition. That being that Microsoft is trying to force you to use a Microsoft account when setting up Windows 11, which is a bad thing, and in 24H2 they may also force on-device encryption and BitLocker by default. And in my opinion, this is a wrong decision made by Microsoft. But fortunately, you can still bypass it by setting up Windows 11 offline or disconnecting the PC from the network during initial setup. But my overall recommendation is to just use Windows 11 Enterprise Edition simply because it will give you the option of domain joining, which is creating local accounts, and because it comes with less bloat overall. With that being said, this has been Igor, MGTOW, and Video Games. Like and subscribe and click the bell notifications on YouTube if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave feedback if you agree with me or disagree with me on any of the points I listed and mentioned in this video. And follow me on odyssey.com, MGTOW.tv, and Twitter, and join my Gilded and Revolt servers, and bye bye. Thanks for watching.